Welcome to the Red Dragon Inn, fellow adventurer. It's been a long, hard day, hasn't it? Slaughtering dragons and other monstrosities, keeping the town safe from harm, and filling that pouch with gold as a sword for hire. Thankfully, we have this place to come in, spend some coin, knock a few back, and take a load off. Of course, not to shame you or anything, but some of us can knock back a few more than others, eh? Shuffle the drink deck and put it in the middle of the table, leaving room for a discard pile. Everyone takes a player mat, a red marker, a white marker, and chooses a character deck. There are 7 versions of the base game that include 4 characters each, along with several expansions, and you can mix and match to play with friends using characters from any one of them. Once you've chosen, shuffle your character deck and place it on your player mat. Take 10 gold and add it to your stash. Leave the rest of the gold in a central pile. This is the inn's gold. Place your red marker on the number 20 to represent your fortitude, and your white marker on the 0 to represent your alcohol content. Take a card from the drink deck and place it face down on the drink me space. Don't look at it yet. Next, draw the top 7 cards from your character deck to form a hand. Then, choose someone to go first and start the game. Your turn includes 4 phases, played in order. On the discard and draw phase, you can discard any number of cards from your hand you don't want, then draw back up to 7. If your character deck is depleted, shuffle your discard pile to reform the deck. If you're already holding 7 or more cards at the start of this phase, you don't have to discard anything if you'd rather keep what you have. On the action phase, you may play 1 action card from your hand. Read the title of the card aloud as you reveal it, give the rest of the group a chance to respond, then follow the instructions on the card before discarding it. If you can't or don't want to play an action card, you can skip this phase. During the buy drinks phase, take the top card from the drink deck and add it face down to someone else's drink me pile without looking at it. Don't worry about paying for drinks during this phase. The inn will keep a tab to collect your debt later. If the drink deck in the center of the table is ever depleted, each player pays 1 gold to the inn to get the wench to bring more drinks. Shuffle the discard pile to reform the deck. Finally, on the drink phase, reveal the top card of your drink me pile. Follow its instructions and discard it to the drink discard pile. If a drink card has this icon, that means you increase your alcohol content by the number indicated. This icon indicates an increase or decrease in fortitude based on the number. And this icon instructs you to add a chaser. If you reveal a drink card that says with a chaser, reveal the next card from the same deck. If that card also says with a chaser, add its effects to the original drink and reveal another chaser. If you run out of cards in your drink me pile when you're supposed to add a chaser from it, just resolve the effects on the drink card sans chaser. When it comes to cards that allow you to ignore a drink, that applies to the original drink along with all of its chasers. And you can't respond to a drink until all of its chasers have been revealed. If you have no cards in your drink me pile when it's time to drink, you start sobering up and reduce your alcohol content by 1. You don't sober up if you run out of cards during the process of adding chasers, though. And if you reveal a drink event card, simply follow its instructions. Cards that affect drink cards do not affect drink event cards, unless they explicitly say so. After the drink phase, your turn ends, and play progresses to the next player on your left. Most of the cards included in the game should be self-explanatory, but there are a few types of cards we should go over here. Sometimes cards can only be played under certain conditions. These cards will say what conditions must be met in order to play them. As long as those conditions are met, you can play multiple sometimes cards in response to the same event, even duplicates of the same card. But you must play them one at a time, and give your opponents an opportunity to respond to each of them. Anytime cards can be played anytime, even if they interrupt another action, whether on your turn or someone else's. When a player plays the Gambling I'm In card as their action, this begins a round of gambling. The game is put on hold to resolve this mini-game before it continues. Everyone puts 1 gold in the middle of the table, separate from the inn's gold pile. Whoever starts the round of gambling is in control of the round. Play proceeds clockwise, and on your turn, you may choose to play either a gambling or cheating card, or pass. Playing a gambling or cheating card gives you control of the round, and it may have other effects to resolve as well. If you pass, that doesn't necessarily take you out of the minigame. You may choose to play a gambling or cheating card from your hand later on in the round, as long as it doesn't end first. If the player who is in control of the round is still in control at the start of a turn, meaning all other players have passed, the round of gambling ends. The player who is in control at the end of the round takes all the gold wagered during the round and adds it to their stash. No cards that would affect the round of gambling can be played once it ends, unless that card explicitly states otherwise. When gambling ends, normal play resumes right where you were when you put it on pause. There are 2 ways to lose the Red Dragon Inn. If your alcohol content is ever greater than or equal to your fortitude, you pass out. The wench drags you up to one of the rooms upstairs to sleep it off. Half of the gold in your stash is given to the inn to pay for the room, and the other half is evenly divided between the remaining players for safekeeping. Or, if you run out of gold, the wench kicks you out of the inn to spend the rest of the night in the stables. In either case, you don't lose the game immediately. First, finish resolving any cards that have already been played. Then, you have one last chance to play any applicable sometimes or anytime cards that can save you. Otherwise, you're eliminated. Discard any remaining cards in your drink me pile. In the event that a player passes out at the same time as another player runs out of gold, the player that passes out resolves their gold distribution before players that go broke are kicked out of the inn. If you run out of gold during a round of gambling, you won't be kicked out until the round is over. Ignore any card effects that require you to wager more gold, and do whatever you can to win the round and save yourself from elimination. The last player in the inn who's still conscious wins. Congratulations! Here's hoping you're still sober enough to go fight the giant ogre we're dealing with in the morning. And that's how you play the Red Dragon Inn.
Hey, my name's Kyle McCarley. I'm a voice actor by trade, but board games are one of my favorite hobbies. If you like board games, you should check out The Board and Barrel every Friday night at 7:30 Pacific on twitch.tv/Kyle McCarley, where me and my buddies play board games. We also give you guys a chance to help us or hurt us, depending on how you feel, with our Buff and Nerf house rules. And we have virtual bingo cards you can fill out while you're watching the show. It's a good time. Hope to see you there.